Good morning, Bedhead and BL. We watched episode 1 of the Untamed last night. What are your thoughts?
So I'm just trying to do the bedhead.
Babe, your bedhead it's there because you have
My thoughts are that Black Robe Man is very clever.
Yes.
And
Wei Wuxian.
And White Robe Man is a very sexy paladin.
You are correct. He is a very sexy paladin. Mm-hmm. What is your thoughts on Wei Wuxian's class? Like, what are your first impressions? He's very clever and very mischievous, I would say.
So I really love so far that all of the cultivators
very good, nice,
appear to be what we refer to in Dungeons and Dragons as a gish.
A gish,
which is sort of the old school term for like the fighter mage kind of archetype, right?
Yes.
So, what I really love about the show is that there's definitely certain aspects of it that are a little low production value compared to like what a high production value show would be in America.
Sure.
But the martial arts are on point.
On point. 100 on point.
Some would say.
Yes.
Not me.
No. Never.
But yeah, so I would say they are, I would say they're casters first. So they're like, it's like it's probably like a subclass of, they're all high charisma. So I would say they're like a subclass of sorcerer.
Oh, okay. Well, do you think that Lanzan is high charisma? You haven't got to see him much.
That's true, I guess.
He's very handsome. So if he's high charisma, it just means that it's all in his looks.
Yeah.
Because you're going to like him.
Because he's a kind of a stuck-up asshole, or...
Yes,
yeah.
He is. He's
a little bit,
neurospicy?
Yeah,
Yes. It's because he's disciplined, but you'll learn more about about him, and I think you're going to like him.
But at least his smug sense of superiority is deserved.
100%. Yeah.
So it's not just silver platter situation.
No.
So I would say, anyway, it's maybe the base class has changed, but maybe it's like a subclass, but it definitely... Or maybe there's just different versions, right? Like maybe like Wei Wuxian is like a Hexblade Warlock, but
Lanzan
is more of like a just traditional fighter spellblade, maybe with some paladin levels.
I think actually, like you might actually, when you get to know him, I think he's a monk.
Yeah, interesting. Maybe maybe they start as monks.
Well, because they have to study cultivation.
Right.
So you have like an innate ability, but you have to study really hard to like level it up, basically.
Yeah.
And Lanzan is...
I definitely got blindsided by this question. It's a lot deeper than I thought I was prepared for. I was stoked about the content creation, but this is going to take... Okay, sorry. So I anticipate, because I told you that the show was very D&D, I anticipate that we're likely going to make content through that lens, as it's a shared language, although you know more than me, obviously. Do you want me to talk to you about the spells that I saw over the course of the first episode? Okay.
100%.
Hold person.
Obviously,
absolutely. Although Wei Wuxian's hold person appears to be a little bit more effortless than, say... the like entangle, which is what they cast to like wrap up the demons.
Those guys are lower grade cultivators. Yeah. They're like babies. Remember when he...
Does that entangle spell only work on demons, or does it work on anything?
I don't remember.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
We'll have to watch the show, because I want to try to avoid book comparisons, but I can give you book details if you want. But I'm sure they're going to do some things differently.
It did make me think for the first time when they... Anyway, we're doing spells.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lot of shield happening, and I think that because because there's in D&D the spell shield is normally self only, but what's unique about it is that it is a reaction as opposed to like a bonus action, which is a quick action, or a standard action, which is like takes up your whole turn.
Right.
There's a reaction, which you could do actually on somebody else's turn. You get one per round of combat. And you can do like, so when they do the quick like interruption ability that like shields someone or like kind of moves someone quickly like that, that's either got to be like reaction spells or like quicken spells, like bonus action spells. So, but that might also just be a side effect of Wei Wuxian being so high level that he could just kind of do spells so quickly.
100%.
Kind of thing. So
him and Lanzan are like peak cultivation. And remember that he's just been reincarnated into a body that like doesn't have a lot of cultivation power. And so this is him. This is him.
He's not able to do his full strength.
No, and he doesn't have weapons.
But he's still clearly pushing through more than like an entry level person.
Way more. And he's able to like they show him. Remember when he looks at the flag, the black flag, and he's like, "This is done." Like they did it right, but it's like done by element.
He did a quick like knowledge arcana.
Yes.
And like,
yes, exactly.
He said some word in there that was super weirdly translated.
Yeah. I am going to look up how they translate the Stygian tiger in the book because I want you to know how it's different. Because it is, Daniel made a comment yesterday when we were watching it. He's like, that's a weird translation and reference to Dante's Inferno, English major. So, like, I remember that
the word Stygian is a very Western word to describe usually a demon.
Right.
So but then the only other word besides for Stygian that they use to describe the creatures or the world is ghost. So like those from a Western perspective are very different things.
Well, and ghosts from their perspective are different than what we think of as ghosts. They're like they're demons often.
I think they say spirits.
They say spirit too. Yeah.
Which again, in Western culture is more akin to a ghost, but I think maybe in Southeast Asian culture is like a totally separate third thing even. So,
there's going to be a lot. It's going to be broad. There will be a lot of different things referred to that way, like evil spirits and.
So we got to get the book translations in, even though we're not comparing to the book.
Right.
This is a concept that we experience a lot in video games. It's called localization. So it's essentially when you are translating something from another language. When you have like, a AAA budget in like a Hollywood production, you're going to on average get better translation. Like I'm sure if we look at like how bad the localization is in like the translation of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, we're going to get much better Chinese translation into American colloquialisms than we would in a show like this that is, clearly high budget, but not maybe the translation. They don't prioritize getting.
I'm going to ask Kay because my guess is that she watched this with Vietnamese subtitles, and she always gives me feedback about translation. So I'm very curious what she thinks, and I'll ask her.
Yeah, and it'd be interesting to see if, like, that being a language that is closer to Chinese than English, maybe, like, how that might change things.
Or she has cultural familiarity, right, that we just don't. A lot's going to go over our heads in that sense. Okay. And you haven't even seen the swords yet. You've seen the magic weapons. So you've seen they use music. So they have instruments. So there's also that, but that's also part of the study. And when you're a very high...
What was that instrument called?
It's called a guqin, I think is how you say it.
The one that the white robe guy used?
It's a Chinese stringed instrument, and then Wei Wuxian plays the flute.
And I correctly, like, instantly picked up on the fact, like, oh, he's, like, clearly powerful, has, is good with reeds, and then you confirm that he was a flautist.
He's a flautist, it's true.
And then, but that he was able to, with his power, like, all I needed was like a leaf and
correct,
could, like
exactly.
some version of it. And even I like that they did the guy even was made the comment like, "Oh, sound very good." I kind of tell what it is, but
exactly. So it was a good time. Episode 2 tonight.
Sure, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. You're a little more excited about this than any other show we've watched in a while. So
well, this one's my choice.
I know it's true.
Yeah. Okay. I love you.
Love you too.
Bye.